Hey guys, hi, welcome back to day number 3. Just gonna situate myself a little bit and then I'm going to share as usual and then we'll get started. Hope you guys are doing okay today. I particularly excited about day number 3 because as I mentioned in my post, if you are following me either on this page, on my private profile if you're friends with me, or in my group Plant Empowered Pond Vivants, I had shared, I think in my newsletter also, if you're not subscribed, go to sunnygandera.com, but I had shared that this specific message I got from my puppy Miso was actually learning to let go. This is day number 3. So these are a series of 7 that I'll be presenting on life lessons we can learn from dogs. I find that dogs are such phenomenal teachers. They teach us about joy, they teach us about love and staying in the present. But they teach us so much more than that. And today is, about the very important lesson of letting go. And my puppy's biggest message, as I said, lesson to me was through the animal communicator that I visited a couple of weeks ago. And it was about acceptance and letting go. Not just of accepting his death and his too soon death and letting go of him, but also of other things that, in my life that I've had a hard time letting go of. And I'm not sure if some of you can relate, if there's something in your life that you have a hard time letting go of. This topic is it's great for you anyway to listen to. So it just reminded me once again how we humans have an emotional attachment to what we imagine could have been and what we regret. And the lessons of loss bring us back to being present and having gratitude. For dogs, they just live in the present. Dogs don't let anything bother them for too long. Like if you scold them for misbehaving, they might sulk for a little bit, but then they get right back to their old self, right? So we too could learn from our mistakes and move on. So this is all about letting go. If you're here, please tell me hi and where you're from. I can't see who's on, so when you comment, that would be awesome. So, in terms of, the lesson I got, of course, I was in mourning for my puppy who had passed way too soon at 4 months of a tragic accident. And dogs, they mourn too, but they also accept what is. And that was the difficult part for me, to accept that it actually happened. Dogs mourn loss, but they don't mourn a lost future. So I was in my head, but like envisioning, hey Jillian, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. So of course I was always thinking, what if, he would have been X weeks old today and all of this. But, dogs don't do that. They don't mourn a lost future. Being stuck in grief is not good. Hi. It's not good, but to feel the grief and to be present with and to accept it is another thing, right? Acceptance of what is and appreciation for what was help us mourn and move us through to the love and memories, which are what lasts, right? We have the love and memories of the people that passed or of the pets that passed. And I just wanted to I always grab a couple of quotes, that relates to the lesson for the day. And this quote is from Hermann Hesse that says, "Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go." And I thought that was really powerful because it can be so incredibly difficult to let go. And I will go through how we can actually help ourselves to let go of things that are bothering us and that we have a difficult time letting go of in this lesson. Another quote is from Michael Sibenko. It says, "One problem with gazing too frequently into the past is that we may turn around to find the future has run out on us." So I'm sure that, some of us can relate to that, right? So the key is, again, like I was talking about on Monday, I believe it was, is really to stay in the present moment, which is incredibly hard. So being fearful in the present because of something that, bad that happened in the past, it's a human trait. It's not a dog trait. Dogs, they don't hold grudges, Humans are probably the only species that holds a grudge, right? A dog will never be angry with you because you didn't give him a treat after dinner last night. And, so we need to learn a little bit more from them. Holding a grudge really weighs you down emotionally and keeps you from moving forward in life. And, I just encourage everyone, and myself included, to let grudges go, and that's how you'll create your own personal freedom. Letting go is really about finding more lightness in your life, letting go of things that's weighing you down. So even this can be like uncluttering things in your home. If you've been piling things up but you don't use them, they're no longer serving you, that can be a really great physical exercise of letting go. Or mentally, emotionally, thoughts that torment you, which can also actually turn physical by causing a lot of worry and stress and anxiety. Letting go, Jillian, if you have any questions, if you're still there, please let me know. Feel free to interrupt. Letting go of the need to control, is one thing. Letting go of obsessing about what people will think about you. Letting go of the need to be perfect. Letting go of continuing to be in a situation that doesn't fulfill you or make you happy, right? Those are some things that, could be examples of, what we could let go of. Learning to let go of something in your past, of something that is just like an unimportant distraction or trying to control what you can't control, can free up huge amounts of energy so that you have that energy to spend on something better and more fulfilling, right? So that's one way of looking at it. It's not always easy, but it can be so life-changing. Whenever people are, having a hard time letting go, when I talk to my clients, like, why do you insist on holding on to this? There must be a benefit to you. And they're like, no, there's no benefit. I hate it, blah, blah, blah. But no, you are getting something from keeping and holding this on. And one of it is you get to keep feeling like you're right? And like the other person is wrong. And that can be a really pleasant feeling and a way to look at the situation at hand. Jillian says, letting go is so hard, and I'm happy that I've learned how to let go of toxicity. People in particular is life-changing, as you say. Yes, isn't it, Jillian? It's so freeing. It might be difficult, but almost like the harder it is, the more fulfilling it is when you actually manage to do so, and truly do so. So thanks for that. I'm so glad you were able to do that. Another benefit of holding on to things can be that you can assume the victim role, right? And that way you get attention, you get support, you get comfort from other people. So this is a way to hold on to things so that you can get that in your life. Maybe you don't know how to get it in any other way. And another benefit could be you don't have to go out into the scary unknown, right? So you can cling to what you know instead, to what's familiar and safe, even if it's now just a dream maybe of what you once had. So that's how our mind can be so crazy and keep us stuck, right? But is it all worth it? What will your life like? I want you to ask yourself, what will your life look like 5 years from now if you're still holding on to these things? Will it be fulfilling? Will you be more at peace? Or will you be still standing and stuck? So the message here really is accept what is and then let go, because you really don't have any other choice. Whether you want to fight it or not, you have to accept it. And that is the difficult part. So when you accept it, really when you really accept it, that's when it becomes easier to let go. And why is that? Because when you're still struggling in your mind against what has happened, then you feed that memory or situation with more energy. So you make basically what someone said or did even bigger and more powerful in your mind than it might have been in reality. You see how you can be your own worst enemy that way? And by accepting that it simply has happened and letting it in instead of trying to push it away, the issue becomes less powerful in your mind. So you don't feel as upset or sad about it as you did before. You become less emotionally attached to it. Thanks, Jillian. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining in. So yeah, less emotionally attached to it once you accept it. And it becomes easier to let go and for you to move on with your life, right? If someone wrongs you, then it'll probably cause you pain for a while. I'm not denying that. But after that, you have a choice. You can refuse to let go of what happened, and instead let it interfere with your relationship and replay what happened over and over and over again. And that's what happened to me. I'm talking about the loss of my puppy now. I was keep replaying the scene over and over, and it was like I couldn't get anywhere. I was just tormenting myself. Or you can choose to forgive yourself. I had a really difficult time with that, forgiving myself. I think I have a harder time forgiving myself than forgiving other people at this point. I've worked really hard on forgiving a lot of people in my life, and that you have to do, and I'll go into that a little bit, because letting go means to forgive. Hi Heidi, and hi Deanna. Thanks for joining. So we're talking about the lesson of letting go, and this was Miso's biggest lesson for me, according to the animal communicator. He told me that I need to be better at letting go, not just of him, but of other things that I hold on to in my life, and that can be toxic. So you know, when you choose to forgive, you first accepting what happened can be really helpful and making it easier to forgive, right? Because you have to accept whatever happened. Another thing you can do is not focus on forgiving because it's something you're supposed to do. So I'm sure some of you have heard, like, you have to forgive for yourself, not for the other person, right? For your own peace of mind. So instead, if you find the motivation to forgive for your own sake, so do it for your own well-being, happiness, and for the time you have left in your life. And I'm reading this book by Catherine Ponder. She's a great wealth consciousness older writer, actually, but she has a great quote that says, when you hold resentment toward another, you are bound to that person or condition by an emotional link that is stronger than steel. Forgiveness is the only way to dissolve that link and get free. And I thought that was really powerful as well. And just because you forgive doesn't mean you have to stay passive towards your future. You may, for example, choose to forgive that person, but also spend less time with them, or even no time with them in the future with someone who has hurt you, right? So the forgiveness is not about them. It's about your own peace of mind. You want to release any resentment. Realize that everybody, all people you meet and that are in your life are there for a reason, and there are lessons to learn from all of them. If there's someone in your life that you feel resentment towards, I have a quick exercise for you, okay? So you want to close your eyes and you want to think back on a meaningful moment that you both shared. And you allow yourself to revisit that same joy and love you had back then, right? And then you want to return to that moment to strengthen your relationship with that person. So you'll see how this simple exercise can easily remind you of why you connected with that person in the first place, right? And tip number 2 is letting go of the need to change other people. I know this is really hard, especially people you care about and you love and you really want to have in your life. But one of the most important things to learn is that we can't change anyone but ourselves, right? So because we all want to be loved and accepted for who we are, we must first take the first step and respect and value people just the way they are, right? So show them the respect that you want from others. So instead of fighting the what can't be fought, to say it that way, is focus on what you can influence in your life. So what can you influence? So by reliving what happened over and over in your mind like I did, you aren't really changing anything, right? It's done. So unless you have a time machine, you don't have any control over the past. And being distracted or worried by things that you can't control in your life in any way right now, honestly, it's a waste of energy, right? We can all agree about that. So ask yourself instead, these are some more beneficial questions instead of pounding the same thing over and over in your head, and you're not going to get a different answer. You're just going to get more frustrated and more depressed or whatever it is, right? You want to ask yourself, what can I focus my time and energy on instead to actually make positive progress or changes in my life? And what is one small step I can take, to get started with that? And that way, when you're asking in this fashion, you are going to get a more productive answer, one that has a positive answer versus oh no, there's nothing you can do, because it forces the brain to come up with a positive solution or some type of solution, right? My experience is that by switching my focus from what I can't influence to what I actually have influence over, and by doing that over and over again, by using questions like the ones we just asked, it becomes easier and easier to stop worrying and to let go of what has happened or what I can't control. So again, it becomes about acceptance. So letting go. Any questions, guys? Any comments? You know, I want to obviously try to involve you as much as I can. I'm not sure exactly who's on right now, but feel free to say hi. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Letting go is all about reality, right? Rather than deluding ourselves by making ourselves believe we have all kinds of powers we don't have, letting go is about facing the facts. That's really hard for humans because we just instantly want to either make ourselves feel better or find a solution to anything, but you know, just accepting the facts is very hard. And we don't have the power to change other people. Like I said, I don't have the power to change what happened to my puppy Miso. And that is very, very painful, but I had to accept it in order to have small peace of mind. We don't have the power to fix other people. We can't influence them to change. We have no power to do that. I don't care what you believe, but you don't. If they change and later tell us that something we said or did impacted them, it was because they chose to allow that impact to make a difference, not because you said so. So when we can accept these things, we'll find peace and we'll be able to let go. And that was really it, you know. When I just kind of took that all in, and I've been reading a lot about these things, it became a little bit easier. It became, not saying easy necessarily, but a little lighter. Felt a little lighter, a little more doable. So guys, is there something that you've been holding on to that you would like to let go of, that you're having a hard time with? Feel free to comment here, or for the replay viewers who are watching this again, comment also. And try these tips that I shared with you. These were all inspired by my dogs, who are such beautiful, forgiving, and loving creatures. They amaze me every single day with their just joy, like I said, the unconditional love, their zest for life. I mean, I want to be like my dogs. So that's my inspiration. But what about you? Where can you find inspiration to become a better person and to create more inner peace for yourself today? I would love for you to comment below. If you can't do it live right now, if you can't think of an answer, I would love to hear from you afterwards anyway. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter if you aren't already signed up, sunnygandara.com. It's a mixture of, you know, plant-based recipes, health tips, personal and professional development. I work with clients both on transitioning them to a vegan lifestyle, but also help you start a business or do a major change in lifestyle, whatever it is, career or personal related. And I'm really passionate about both of those, of course, animals and just having a more bon vivant lifestyle. So you can find me either here on this page or in my group, Plant Empowered Bon Vivants. And until next time, I hope to see you tomorrow again. I'll be here on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll be doing lesson number 4, and I'll keep that a close secret until tomorrow. So with that, I wish you guys a lovely evening, or whatever, wherever you are, lovely day, and thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye.